Cloudy. It's going to start getting colder. Can't wait for that to come through.
You really?
Yeah, I'm ready for some cold air.
Okay, I brought all the horses in. I figured it would be a mess out there this afternoon.
Yeah, it's the consensus. I think everyone's ready for a cool down. It is about that time, right? The frontal boundary is starting to move into Bexar County. We've got some storms, as we showed you earlier, behind the front. Let's get right to the radar. And you can pick up where that frontal boundary is. Just north of New Braunfels now, pulling into northern parts of Bexar County. So right there, that's the boundary. Notice the storms kind of lag behind it a little bit, so it'll be a while longer before the rain kicks in. But let's zoom in and we'll show you exactly where where the neighborhoods are that are feeling the effects of this front. So it is through Timberwood Park. It is not to 1604 yet, but if you're watching us from northern parts of Stone Oak, that frontal boundary is coming through your neighborhood as we speak, and that is the case. As you get a little closer to maybe Garden Ridge, this front will be through your area probably here in about 20 to 30 minutes. And New Braunfels and Green, that front's on your doorstep. This is going to be moving through New Braunfels here within the next, I'd say, 10 minutes or so. You're going to feel the effects of this front. Again, temperatures drop off pretty rapidly right behind the front, and you'll get some gusty winds with it as well. There's a look at the rain right now, seeing some good heavy rain around the Bernie area. Not seeing a lot of lightning strikes, so this is mostly just some good downpours. And again, we'll take the rain. That's always a good thing. Right there along I-10, a good downpour over towards Pipe Creek as well. And this is kind of what San Antonio has to look forward to. Once the front comes through, you get the changes, and then we'll get some showers and a few downpours and maybe a few storms behind the front. So far, we have not seen a lot of severe weather. That's the good news. It looks like most of these storms will behave themselves this afternoon, but if anything changes, we'll be here to let you know. Temperatures, we keep updating these because they keep changing every time we talk to you, but it is now 61 Bernie stage. Remember last hour, or just a few minutes ago actually, we talked about temperatures being in the 70s there, now down to 61. So that's that rapid change. Austin down to 62. We're still in the 80s, but not for long here in San Antonio. Heading out to football tonight. Take a jacket, take a blanket. It's going to be blustery and chilly. Rain will start to wind down as these games get started, but by halftime, 49 degrees, and it may feel chillier than that thanks to that northerly wind, guys.
Feeling some people are going to be starting up their fireplaces for the first time in a while.
To try that out.
Yeah, be careful. It's becoming clear also that now Tropical Storm Nicole was a deadly hurricane. At least 4 people now reported dead after it made landfall in Florida.
The scope of the damage is just now becoming clear, and ABC's Rena Roy tells us that dozens of buildings along the coast are at risk of collapsing.
The remnants of storm system Nicole now heading north after leaving a path of destruction along Florida's east coast. Dozens of homes damaged or destroyed.
This is our pool deck. We had these tiki huts there. That's our pool. A bunch of lounges and chairs, which we just painted and redid from the damage from Ian.
And what did it sound like when it came crashing down?
It sounded like a semi-truck just hit the wall. It was abnormally loud. It's just unbelievable. Like, I've been on this coastline from South Florida to here my entire life, 48 years. Never seen anything remotely close to it.
In the Daytona Beach area, hundreds of people were evacuated before several beachfront homes collapsed into the ocean. This swimming pool dangling on the edge.
This home, yesterday, I was in the living room. That is now in the ocean. They used to have, before Ian, a deck and 100 feet before you hit water. This is how fast erosion can change a coast.
Nicole made landfall in Volusia County. That's where 49 buildings now have been deemed unsafe, including 24 hotels and condos.
The structural damage along our coastline is unprecedented. We've never experienced anything like this before.
The strong surf near St. Augustine producing massive amounts of sea foam. This park bench floating away.
We got a bench on the loose.
This storm hitting area is still recovering from Hurricane Ian, which slammed the Sunshine State just 6 weeks ago. Forecasters in Atlanta, Georgia are on high alert as Nicole moves in. They're warning of possible tornadoes and downed trees today. The storm still packing 40-mile-per-hour winds. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
The impact of methane leaks caused by oil and gas operations, part of a new climate change initiative by President Joe Biden. Today, Biden announcing a clampdown on greenhouse gas methane pollution. The Environmental Protection Agency will bolster a previous regulation which calls for a huge reduction in methane emissions. He wants it trimmed by 87% as compared to 2005 levels. The updated rule will also say that oil and gas companies must respond to methane leaks that are reported by credible third parties.
Former President Donald Trump still planning to make a special announcement next week. This comes as the investigation into his handling of presidential records continues. Yesterday, Trump told a federal appeals court it should leave the third-party review of the materials seized at Mar-a-Lago in place. A trial judge ordered a special master to inspect the thousands of documents taken from Trump's Florida resort. Trump says they are, quote, presumptively his personal property under the Presidential Records Act. The appeals court is reviewing the Justice Department's challenge of the special master review.
Groceries are still costing you more than last year, but at least there's some sign that prices aren't climbing as quickly. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, food was 0.6% more expensive in the month of October as compared to September. But that's at a slower pace than earlier this year. It's still another increase added to the rest, though. One of the worst in the dairy aisle, with eggs jumping a whopping 43%, butter spiking nearly 27%. Several factors are affecting prices, including drought, higher energy costs, and a deadly wave of avian flu. All those things together made turkeys, eggs, and general crops more expensive to grow.
Some good news for car buyers. New car prices finally coming down, at least a little bit. Analysts say cars are still mostly selling for more than the manufacturer's suggested retail price, but not as high as they were. According to Edmunds, for the first half of the year, new car prices averaged $700 over sticker price. That's dropped to about $230 over sticker price now. Some brands are now selling for below MSRP. Something that used to be the norm, but was scarcely seen in the past year amid supply chain issues.
There's chaos in the cryptocurrency market. FTX. It's one of the biggest players in the digital money markets. It has now filed for bankruptcy. It was once valued, though, at $32 billion. Big names in sports and entertainment have ties with this company, and some are even shareholders. The Wall Street Journal now reporting the company is under investigation by the Department of Justice and the SEC. The Journal reporting the CEO is accused of using customers' money from FTX to fund risky bets at another company of his.
Another night of high school football playoffs. Larry Ramirez with a look at some of the big games coming up tonight.
Looking outside with live cam. Is it colder in your neighborhood yet? It's colder in mine.
Looks ominous out there, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the front that we're looking at there. It does look kind of dark and ominous. We don't have a lot of rain in San Antonio yet, but we will get some showers and a few downpours working their way in. The front now has made it to 1604 on the city's north side, so we're starting to see changes across northern Barron County. Those temperatures will start to tumble. Be prepared for those changes later today. We'll get you prepared. More on the forecast coming up.
I can't remember the last time I was this excited about rain and cold and wind. I'm pumped. Bring it. Bring it.
I think it's been such a year, with the heat and the lack of rainfall. This is kind of a welcome change, I think, for most of us. The rain, we can see on radar, it's there. Thankfully, we haven't had severe weather, so this has just been mostly just some good downpours. Now, there have been a couple spots where we've had some small hail mix in, but this is not going to be a big deal, I don't think. Just be aware that some of these stronger cells here can't completely rule out some very small hail. It's not the kind of hail that would do damage to your car or anything like that. Just something to watch. Now, let's first start with where this front is located at the moment. We've been tracking it, and we can get down to the neighborhood here, which is nice, and we know exactly where that front is. So it is right along 1604 now, almost parallel 1604 on the north side between I-10 and 281 there. And then it's, again, Garden Ridge. It's on your doorstep. It'll be through very, very soon. And what you'll notice with this front, we just got an update there. So it is passed across 1604 now. Hollywood Park, Chavano Park, you're next in line. Gusty winds, and then those temperatures fall off pretty sharply. Then it's behind the front. that you start to get these showers and storms, and we've been seeing that in Bernie. Not a lot of lightning strikes here. Actually, let me turn the lightning on. It looks like it's not turned on there, and then we can see if there's any lightning strikes with this cell, and there's not. So it's just good downpour activity moving through Bernie at this hour, and this is going to continue to move off to the north and east. You can see where the pockets of heavier rain are located, right along I-10 and within downtown Bernie there. Other showers and storms out near Sisterdale, moving towards Bergheim, and up towards the Candelia area, seeing some showers and storms. So a lot of Kendall County seeing some rain. Now let's go up to this stronger cell we see up here north of Comfort along 87. And what I want to do is change over to the threats here, and we can see if our radar is detecting any sort of hail with this, and it's really not. I mean, maybe right there's some very, very small hail mixed in, but so far, again, just good rain. And we'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take the rain, not the severe weather. Let's put it back on radar and look at a few more of these cells. Most of the really heavy stuff right now is up around Marble Falls and over towards Round Rock, Austin, and Georgetown. And there are quite a few lightning strikes up there. So these are some heavier cells, and these are ones that likely will contain some small hail. It seems like the intensity of this activity kind of falls off a little bit as you go back down to the south and west. But there are some cells developing out near Concan. And let me turn on our other radar to see if we can pick up some stuff further west. This is all pretty light out towards Bracketville, but one little heavier cell there near Concan. And again, some of this activity will be working into San Antonio here over the next couple of hours. And by the way, coming up at 1 o'clock, we're going to be going live on the KSAT weather app and the KSAT app. You can stream with us, and meteorologist Mia Montgomery and myself will be tracking the front and the showers and storms. If you'd like to continue on with us at 1 o'clock, we'll be there on your devices as this front comes into San Antonio. Here's a little different view. You can see the cloud cover, the rain, and then some breaks in the clouds here around San Antonio, and that's why temperatures have made their way all the way up to 80 degrees here in town. Now, this obviously is not going to last with that front probably moving to the airport here pretty soon. And I didn't get a chance to redraw my front. Notice it's already changed, so the front's down here now. Bernie stage at 59. New Braunfels says 83, but the temperature is probably falling there as we speak. 78 Seguin, 82 down there at Stinson. But behind the front, 50s and even some 40s. Looking at the wind gusts, gusting to 25, in some cases close to 30, so we know we're going to get some gusty winds. And you can see the front there in the distance, those darker clouds, that's the front. We can see here on live cam. 82 at Stinson, 82 at Kelly, 81 at Randolph for now. And the forecast calls for the front to continue to move south. Some showers and storms directly behind the front. 60% chance of rain. This is around 2 o'clock. Then around 4 or 5, we're starting to see this shift south and east. And then things winding down by 7 o'clock or so, and then clearing out some as we get into tonight. But gusts up to 35 miles per hour possible, maybe even a few up near 40. Some of our models are showing that by tonight. So it's going to be a blustery, chilly night. KSAT 12-hour forecast, 60 by 3 o'clock, 58 by 4 p.m., 52 by 6 o'clock, 51, 7 p.m. when football games are getting underway, but it's windy and cooler. The rain shuts off, but it will be blustery, as we said. And wind chill values could be in the 30s overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, so keep that in mind. 59 tomorrow, 37 Sunday morning, some freezing temperatures potentially in the hill country. 61 Sunday, another chance of showers on Monday, and pretty cool much of next week, guys.
All right. Well, I say I'm excited now, but we'll find out about halftime at Comalander Stadium. I'm excited about that wind.
That wind sweeping through that stadium.
Be a little chilly. Be a little chilly tonight.
You're gonna have your beanie on, your gloves.
Oh, you know what? That's what I forgot. I didn't bring the beanie. Dang. Oh, maybe I do have it. I don't know. I don't.
You have a beanie?
Yeah, I do.
We need to find him one if he doesn't.
I have one.
'Cause he's going to be cold.
I've got one in my car.
Hey, you know what? We are getting ready for the USL Championship finale between San Antonio FC and Louisville City. It's the first time that the top 2 seeds have advanced to play for the title. And in high school football, it is win or go home time coming up. It's almost Championship Sunday for San Antonio FC as the guys will battle Louisville City FC in the final match of the USL Championship season. Winner will be crowned league champion. These two teams had never met before. Now, the top 2 seeds will advance. That's the top seed in the West will face the number 1 seed in the East in the biggest match of the USL Championship season.
history of that club, the success they've had year after year, you know that it's going to be a really tough opponent. So, you know, in that sense, you give them the respect of being a well-oiled machine, but at the same time, you know, we know what we're capable of. We've shown time and time again this year that we can beat anyone. Most points this season, you know, that speaks for itself. So, really confident in us and our game model and what we're going to do this weekend.
SAFC will host Louisville City FC Sunday night, 7:30 at Toyota Field for the USL Championship title. Here come the Bandera Bulldogs, ready to play Lago Vista at Piper High School for the Class 4A by district round. Vikings strike first on their first offensive possession. Ethan Helton gets the handoff on the jet sweep, coming right at you, blows by one defender, runs over another at the goal line for a 32-yard touchdown, and Lago Vista is moving on 67-6. Pearsall Mavericks face Navarro at Ferris. First quarter, Panthers running back Antoine Mabane takes a handoff, follows blockers, turns the corner, picks up 20 yards before getting pushed out of bounds. Moments later, on the 2-yard line, they give the ball to Cohen Bunt, who muscles in for the touchdown. 6-0 Panthers after a missed extra point, and Navarro wins at 50-8. The Jernton Indians hosting their first-round playoff game against Luling. First quarter, Indians quarterback Matthew Hicks takes the snap, gets flushed out of the pocket. He takes off and leaps into the end zone. He gets flipped, but manages to hold on to the ball for the score. Jernton wins it by a final of 28-0. The Flatonia Bulldogs mascot chilling out at Davenport Stadium as they take on the Junction Eagles. Bulldogs take control early. Second play of the game, quarterback Fidel Venegas keeps it on the option, follows blocker, sprints down the near sideline, 54 yards untouched to the house. 6-0 Flatonia after missed extra point, and the Bulldogs take it 59-32. Blanco Panther fans packing Hero Stadium to see them take on the Poteet Aggies at a neutral site. Second quarter, Panthers up 7-0, looking for more. Quarterback Cameron Anderson on the option read. Looks like he hands it off, but he didn't. He flies down the sideline on his way for an 82-yard touchdown. 14-0 Blanco, and let's go to the big game coverage scoreboard for that final now. And Blanco takes it 41-14. Taylor falls to Bernie by a final of 42-13. And some other scores we have for you here. You have Shiner moving on 54-14. Gerald knocks off Devine 32-14. CC Miller put up 70 points to advance. CC Veterans Zamora also put up 70 points to advance. And some more scores. We got Lano winning 44-0. Holland 36-31 against Stockdale. Thorndale beat Johnson City 41-30. And finally, Fall City 4 points better than Bremen 40-36.
Like Friday night right there.
Man, that's a lot of scores.
Yeah,
it was a busy night.
That. My neck hurts, though, watching that kid land on the It's like.
Good news. David Sears says he brought his beanie.
Yeah, I think so.
My beanie is an LSU beanie, but you can have it if you want it.
Okay, well.
I think that's a no.
Call for desperate measures. You never know. You never know.
I want a picture of that.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to head over to SA Live now.
And on SA Live today, it is all about the veterans.
That's right, and we have a bunch of businesses we're featuring, including Grunt's Grill. We have George Vega and Dominic Perez joining us.
Okay, so I see we've got tortillas and cheese. We've got Philly cheesesteak. What are we making today, though?
All right, so today we're going to be doing our son of a grunt. Our grunt, we're going to have some quesadillas out, our Philly cheesesteak, and our veggie quesadilla for those that can't eat meat.
So he's the grunt, because George was former Army. You're the son of the grunt, but these are sandwiches.
The sandwiches.
Okay.
It has a hot Cheeto twist, by the way.
Kind of confused, but we're going with that. Hey, have you guys ever had a mochi nuts? Look at that. Yes, indeed. Another veteran-owned business. We are going to be, of course, sampling these coming up a little bit later on.
Maybe we'll try to make some as well. Also, there's an organization that is helping veterans thrive with their businesses, whether they're new or they're already in business. We're going to tell you all about Task Force Vosbo.
Speaking of helping veterans, did you ever think that yoga can help out? Yes, indeed. There is a yoga program and also another one kind of joining forces to help out veterans. And we were talking about it and said it's all about the breathing, how that can just really settle folks down. This is a fascinating interview we're going to be doing. You don't want to miss this one.
Yes, mental health and everything as well. Also, we want to see photos of the veterans in your life.
Yes, indeed, because everybody, I think, knows or is related to a veteran. And, of course, don't forget, $500 we're giving away. That and a whole lot more on SA Live.
Hello, everyone. These are your top headlines from Cheddar News. Starting later this month, iPhone 14 and 14 Pro users will be able to send an emergency text from anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, even when out of cell or Wi-Fi range. Users of the emergency SOS feature will be able to connect to a satellite to send a short text message to share their location. Meanwhile, crypto exchange FTX's U.S. website says trading might be halted in a few days. That after the parent company spiraled towards collapse this week from a liquidity crisis. FTX US said in an announcement on their site Thursday, quote, "Please close down any positions you want to close down," but they added withdrawals are still and would remain open. And Jewel Labs said Thursday they secured financing and they're laying off nearly a third of their staff, this in a bid to avoid bankruptcy. The company has not released any details or terms of the investment. The FDA ordered the company to stop selling their vaping products earlier this year. And that's your Cheddar News Update. I'm Baker Machado coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department now offering free entry to all Texas state parks. It's happening on November 13th in honor of veterans and active duty military.
Daily entrance fees will be waived for all day use visitors. Reservations highly recommended, though. Some parks are expected to reach their capacity limit.
You can find more information in the Things to Do section on our website, KSAT12.
All right, guys, we have a new severe thunderstorm watch. This is now in effect. This does include Bexar County, and this is going to go until 6 p.m. this evening. You see how it's kind of laid out there. Any storms we see today are going to be along and behind our cold front, which is currently moving through San Antonio. And it's behind the front where we could see some of these stronger storms. I think hail, as we've been talking about, probably the main threat. And we'll certainly keep a close eye on that. There's another look at the live radar. We've got some showers and storms on their Concan, but that front itself starting to move through San Antonio and is starting to get a little bit closer to the airport. In fact, moving through the airport as we speak. So temperatures will start to drop. We hit 80 degrees, but the numbers will likely tumble into the 60s and eventually 50s. You see some of these showers and downpours to the north. That is what we'll be watching, and you'll want to join us at 1 o'clock. Well, it is 1 o'clock. Here in about 5 minutes or so, we're going to be on the KSAT weather app, the KSAT app. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery and myself will be tracking these showers and storms as they move through San Antonio, and you can follow us there. Also on YouTube. We'll be on your digital devices as this front comes through San Antonio. We'll be here to keep you up to date, especially if any severe thunderstorms pop up, guys.
All right, we're tuning in for sure.
So you watch the KSAT app for some weather, and then you keep your eye on a Veterans Day celebration downtown with SA Live. It starts right
now.
Celebrate San Antonio. Coming to you live from historic Market Square. This is SA Live.
Hello and happy Friday. It's Veterans Day.
And we have got a bunch of veterans. We've got Air Force, Army, and Marines represented here. And, you know, for the rest of us, thank you all. We can applaud all of these folks.
Thank you.
To everybody that is in here, to all of the veterans and all the veterans out there. Good afternoon, everyone. She is Jen Tobias-Strusky. I'm Mike Osterhage.
Yes.
And of course, today is Veterans Day, and it is the day to honor military members past and present, and that's where you come in. Mm-hmm. We want to see the pictures of all of the folks that are veterans in your life.
Yes, I know you have two in your life. You want to mention?
My dad was in the Navy right at the very end of World War II, and my grandfather, my mom's father, was in World War I in the Army.
Oh, wow.
He actually guarded the White House.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yes. So we
and
want
your
to see
grandfather
the photos.
too, right?
My grandfather. I called him this morning to say Happy Veterans Day. He told me he was drafted in 1952, and he was a cook in the mess hall. So he's still an amazing cook, by the way.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Send those pictures in.
Yes, at SA Live KSAT on Facebook or Twitter. We may share them a little later in the show. All right, a great way to honor vets is to support those veteran-owned businesses, and getting a tasty meal of it doesn't hurt either.
Yes, indeed. You can probably hear the sizzle right now. George Vega, owner and Army vet right here. Let's hear it for the Army. And his son Dominic Perez from Grunt's Grill are here to show us some of the delicious items on their menu as we continue to support vets.
Yes.
Thanks, gentlemen. Again, thank you for your service, sir. What are we making today?
All right, so today you're going to be doing the grunt. I know you liked that one last time. And then we're going to have you on the son of a grunt, 'cause I know you really like those hot Cheetos.
Yes, I'm eyeing those hot Cheetos. So we're starting with the grunt.
Did you come up with the name Grunt and Son of Grunt because you were the grunt and he's the son?
Yes, my wife, me and my wife came up with the name, the grunt, and my son and my wife came up with the son of a grunt.
Okay. Which one's better, the grunt or the son of the grunt?
I like the grunt.
The grunt, okay.
Of course.
Which one's better?
I like the son of a gun. I like hot Cheetos though.
And game on,
Yes,
folks. Okay,
yes.
so how do we do this, Dominic?
All right, so I'm gonna get you to go ahead and throw on some of your bell peppers and onions.
Okay.
Do
All
as
of
much as you like. Nah, don't do all of it. That's a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah. However you like, yes.
But if you like your veggies, go ahead and throw as much as you want.
All right, there we go. And just get this
Kinda
all
mix that
cooked up
around.
right. Yep.
And George was going to sample something too, right? Over there. We'll get him something to eat.
What you need over there?
I'm thinking he's one of his lunch today.
Ready for lunch? Okay. So how did y'all get started? Because you did not cook in the Army, did you?
No, I didn't.
And then just got out of the Army and decided, hey, I'm going to open up a...
Well, I was a maintenance mechanic, and me and my wife decided to open it up. And my son likes to cook a lot, so I like to cook a lot too. So we opened it up all together.
Okay. All right.
And you've been open for what, 2 years now, right?
2 years now.
2 years? Okay.
Go ahead and put your pico de gallo on your salsa. Do it kind of fast, because that stuff will hit you in the nose and make
Oh
you
yeah,
fall.
you warned us about
Right
the
here?
air.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to step
Here?
back.
Yeah, step back a little bit. Yeah, go ahead, throw it on there. And get your salsa. That's not the one that's going to do it, though.
Oh,
This one is.
Salsa.
it's
Okay.
Dad's salsa. Yeah, he kind of gave
This
us
is the one
That's
where...
the one.
And he told us how he makes it too. Oh yeah,
Where do I
I'll
put
take
this?
it.
All
Take it
around?
for you. I'll take it for you.
Yep.
All right, throw your cheese on.
And my cheese,
This
okay.
one obviously has a kick then to it, right?
This one does have a kick to it, actually. Been throwing a lot more in there. I don't know what he's doing to it, but it's hot.
Okay, there we go. Now what?
All right, go ahead and mix it around. You grab your bread, throw it on there.
Your bread's right here.
And this is definitely a family operation. I know your mom told me there's always a veteran there in the food truck, whether it's your grandfather or your dad, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
All the time. We like having them there.
And this, of course, is the grunt, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Looks so good.
Yes, it does. So it's kind of like a combination chili steak, really? Philly cheesesteak, easy for me to say. Yes, and it's the hot sauce getting to me with the
I
fumes
feel
on
it.
here. I know, I just got a good whiff of it there, so.
Yes.
All right. And now, the son of a grunt
I feel it.
is what?
All right, so the son of a grunt is going to be your meat.
Okay, put the meat
You
back
throw
on
your
there.
vegetables on there, how much as you'd like.
Tell me how I did there, sir.
Yes, sir, I will.
Dig into that one. So,
All right, so you're going to mix that around for a little bit, get those vegetables a little hot.
what are the kind of things you have on the menu?
All right, so we do burritos, quesadillas, burgers, half-pound burgers, so they're big.
Half-pound burger.
Half-pound burgers.
And that doesn't even include all the toppings on it and
Lettuce,
everything?
pickles, potatoes, bacon, mushrooms, whatever you want on it, we will throw it on there.
And the quesadillas
Eggs.
look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite? Well, it's the one we're making, right?
Yeah, the one right now
Okay.
is one of my favorites.
And
It's not
then-
that, it's the quesadilla.
And then, which quesadilla looks delicious as well. And then where can folks find y'all?
All right, so we're gonna be at Palo Alto College pretty soon. Saturday and Sunday, we should be at SA Street Fair. And then we're gonna be giving back at Main Plaza from 11 to 2. All proceeds go back to United Way.
So that's a big event with United Way, and you'll be down there cooking for everybody as
exactly.
well? Okay.
Can't
That's
go
gonna be
wrong
fun.
with this delicious food. All right,
Now,
how am
the
I
trick
doing?
to the
Yeah, you're doing
son
fine.
of a grunt.
All right, now you do
Secret
as
ingredients.
much as you'd like.
How did you do?
You did really good.
Did I? So I get hired?
My childhood
You
favorite.
think? Okay. I'm going to have to taste my handiwork right here. So.
So did you just say one day that you're just gonna add some hot Cheetos to this?
I was just like, I'm gonna throw it
Let's
on
give it a
there.
try. Why not?
I know you don't got a lot of cheese left over there, so I'm gonna come with
right
this
there.
right here.
Okay. All right, we're gonna finish that up here. Again, people can find you
Okay.
Monday at that event. How is it,
That's got a
Mike?
kick to it. And that's your secret sauce, right?
Yes, it is.
Just mix it around.
Okay.
If that's a little messy, don't worry about it.
Hello.
I'll clean up afterwards.
Again, yes, I talked my mouth full here. Sorry about that. You can try Grunt's Grill at the United Way fundraiser hosted by Bear County Military and Veterans Services Center this Monday, the 14th, Main Plaza, 11 to 2. More information on Grunt's Grill, go to our website, salive.com, click on the ad scene on SA Live tab.
I'm gonna show you too. This way to get it. Grab it like
All
that.
right, we're trying to finish this one here. And you can follow them, by the way, on their social media for all their other events.
Yeah, they post where they're going to be.
Okay.
You keep going with that, I'll read. So,
Okay.
Veterans Helping Veterans, that's what one organization is doing to get aspiring entrepreneurs to thrive after serving in the military.
That's right. It's Task Force VOSBO. Now it started, all right, you'll take over, in March of 2021, and they have helped dozens of veteran-owned businesses since then, and I got to chat with some of them. Take a look.
A lot of veterans, especially after they leave the service, are looking for a purpose. And starting a business helps veterans find a purpose. I know for me, it really helped me find a purpose because I wasn't sure what I was going to do when I retired from the Marine Corps.
Daniel Shrub and his family own Popcorn Friday in Spring Branch. The business is all about gourmet popcorn with fun flavors created by Daniel's wife, Priscilla. He is one of many veteran-owned businesses that are part of Task Force VOSBO, or Veteran-Owned Small Business Organization.
What we do is we help veterans in transition as they're leaving the service and create awareness about owning a business.
Chef Mark Sierra, a former Marine and owner of Compadres Hill Country Cocina, launched Task Force VOSBO in March of 2021 as a way to help connect and support other fellow veteran business owners.
A lot of them are combat veterans, right? So a lot of these guys that been through some traumatic situations, we've all been through that situation, whether it was in Afghanistan or Iraq. And it's one of those things that whether we go to, to therapy, to the VA and whatnot, it's never going to be the same because they're hired professionals, right? You can only communicate with them, tell them, but do they really understand? No. Veteran to veteran, we do understand, and that's how we help each other out.
Now, other business owners such as Lee Ripley and Jason Espinosa are taking the lead on Task Force VOSBO, seeing the impact of this support system.
Just helps grow the business, helps get attention and eyes on the business. And not only that, it helps highlight the businesses and kind of creates a reference for people within the organization. So I own a liquor store, for example, but if I know somebody that owns a cigar shop that's a veteran, I can push people that way. If I hear somebody saying they need pressure washing done for their house, I got a veteran for that. So everything within the organization, pretty much we cover it with some sort of small business.
And my first experience with Task Force VOSBO was last year's Veterans event. And, I showed up at 5 in the morning, helped Mark, and we set up the whole area. And then kind of like after that, I got a sense of, hey, this is an organization that's going to do what it says it's going to do for the community.
Here at Popcorn Friday, Shrub and his family continue to see support from their customers. This month, they're releasing a new holiday gift box inspired by Horse Soldier Bourbon Whiskey.
So Kylie this morning is making our brand new boozy box. It has 8 different non-alcoholic flavors that taste like some holiday beverages that everyone loves. We started with the dark chocolate bourbon, that was our inspiration, and then we decided to add 7 more.
And as the ideas and creative recipes continue to grow at this business, so do the members of Task Force VOSBO.
But I think in just the year time frame that we've been around, year and a half, we're up to roughly about 50 businesses at this point, 50 members within the organization, and it just continues to grow every day.
Proving just how important it is to have veterans supporting veterans.
And that's why it's important, because whether we served, 10 years prior or still serving, or those that were in Vietnam or World War II, you get those guys together and it meshes well. We're like in the same platoon.
Just being veterans and, doing what they did and sacrificing for their country, that's a huge honor for me to kind of be in charge of, because a lot of these guys come from different backgrounds, different services, and through that camaraderie, just being in the military, it's kind of an honor just to be in their presence and to see them succeed after the military and be in business and still have disabilities such as I dealing with, to see them to push through that and to overcome so many obstacles. It's just inspiring to me. So as long as I can be in this position, I'd love to help them in any way I can.
Again, it's been just over a year and they've already helped 50 businesses in 1 year. So they want this to go big, just statewide and maybe even bigger. Again, if you'd like some more information, you can head over to SALive.com, click the As Seen on SA Live tab so that you can learn more about Task Force VOSBO or to learn more about Popcorn Friday, which they have that great holiday deal.
Fantastic story.
Yes. Oh,
wonderful. Thank you all very much for your service.
If you're interested in learning more,
it's still ahead on SA Live. Take your backyard parties to the next level with these handmade games. We meet the veteran behind the business and how you can order yours.
But first, this military spouse opened the first yoga studio on a military base, how she's helping our vets and military members, and why yoga might be good for you. It's next.
And something we mentioned yesterday, host Russell Rush of 96.1. Oh, by the way, here's Veterans Day deal. Barbara Louie, active military members, veterans, free craft beer, valid ID, dine in only.